Good morning, Monday morning, everybody. This this is going to be a lengthy video after last week and everything that we've been through. Literal murders of two innocent people last week. You know, the girl on the train and Charlie Kirk and everything that's going on. Wednesday, we got the news. My daughter, she goes to UT, and she had sent a message out to us that he had been shot, and of course we immediately started following it, just like everybody else did. And, you know, we had hoped, like 95%, I would like to think 95% of the world was hoping he would pull through. Of course, unfortunately, we had watched the video up close of what had happened, and, you know, you always can wish and hope that the doctors and everything could have done more, quicker, faster, but that was definitely a premeditated kill shot. And, you know, I don't know, I wanted to do a post on Thursday or Friday to, you know, my normal happy-go-lucky self, and, you know, try to put out there about football and the local stuff. But man, I just wasn't I wasn't in a good place to do that because of what had happened and what had transpired. You know, little did I know, within a few minutes of a man being killed on national TV. So when I say that, I think you all know why I say that. Facebook, Twitter, X, you know, whatever, Instagram, all those things. That's national TV now. You know, we do have television and all that stuff, but basically any social platform is now our national TV. And, you know, who would have thought that there would be so many people come out and actually celebrate the death of a man? You know, the neutrality of that girl being stabbed on a train by a man that had been put in jail 14 times and let go, and with mental illness. And no doubt, you know, if you've watched any videos of what happened on that train, he's definitely mentally off, I'll say, but he was also a criminal of the worst sort. He was preying on the weaker people around him, because there was a gentleman that said, why didn't he try to stab that man sitting across from him? Why didn't he pick on somebody that could fight back? Well, we all know why. We're not stupid. Criminals pick on the weak. Criminals pick on the unarmed. The divisiveness and everything that goes on in the world, you know, it gives criminals the opportunity. They get mad, and instead of standing up for something that's standing up for whatever it is they believe in, they'll take it out on somebody weaker to make themselves feel better. You know, that's a sad thing in and of itself. It's just like any man that would strike his wife or strike his girlfriend. All you're doing is making yourself feel better. You're not big. You're not brave. You're a coward. He's a coward. He deserves the death penalty. I mean, if you don't like that, that's fine. You don't have to follow me or like me or whatever. I don't. I don't have no problem with that. I don't dislike you for not wanting to hear what I have to say, and go for it. Don't follow me. I would have never dreamed a month and a half ago, when I started trying to do a podcast or start the Gen X Ginger page. I would have never thought that there would be this kind of stuff. I don't know. I don't guess the world would have been flipped upside down on its head. I don't know how to put that, but anyway, guys, when that happened on Wednesday, I'm not afraid to say to you guys, and I'll tell you this, and please hear me out when I say this, because most everything that we're seeing on the negativity about Charlie Kirk, these people that are celebrating his death and just saying the most horrible, heinous things that you could ever say about a man, about his wife, about his kids. Those people don't know who Charlie Kirk was. They think they know, but they only take, it's like I've told you guys before, they only take what Facebook gives them because of the things they follow and they read. Most everything that I've heard, if you go and watch all of Charlie Kirk's video from front to back, those are tidbits, those are snippets of things that he said, and then it was twisted to make him look like a racist, a homophobe. It's ridiculous, really, and any of us with any sense know that it's just not true. It's not true. There's just no truth to what these people are saying. And listen, these people that are getting online, or that got online, and they were celebrating, and the things that they were saying, if you follow my page, as far as my normal page, I've been sharing all weekend people that have been saying things and just hurtful, evil, demonic things. I've been sharing them, and everybody else has been sharing them, because these people need to be taken out of their jobs. And I don't say that because I want to see them physically hurt in any way, but you can't work beside somebody that thinks that way. You just can't. You can work beside somebody with political differences, and you guys can get along and even be best friends, be great friends. But you can't work beside people like that, because you don't know what they're capable of. Because if a man being shot on national television live will prompt you to be happy, literally be happy, and you're just tickled to death that somebody just got killed on national TV in one of the most gruesome things we've ever seen. What if you were to say something when it comes election time, or something, and they just flip out? They could come back into work and do serious damage. They could come in and kill you. They could. It's untelling. And I am all for political difference, like opinions. I have no problem with that. Not anything whatsoever. Yeah. But when that happened on Wednesday, what's crazy is, after I started seeing all these posts and stuff of people being excited, I went through my list of people that I know that, and if any of them see this, this is not an indicator of how I feel about you. I deleted and I blocked some people on my list because I know how they I know how they feel politically. I know how they like to vote. And I mean, that's the way they were raised. That's their God-given right. But I blocked them or I deleted them off my page because I didn't want, now hear me out, I didn't want that incident and those people's friends to influence a knee-jerk reaction in them being able to get on Facebook and maybe agree with it or think that it was okay. And I'll tell you why. Because social media, every social media platform gives you the ability to be the director, the writer, and the director of your movie, your own personal movies. Just like right now, everything I say, it's my movie. This is my movie. This is I direct it, I write it, I think it. And that being said, there's an empowering thing to social media as far as that goes, but there's also knee-jerk reactions, and I don't want any of the people that I know that are of the left-leaning or Democrat voting persuasion. I didn't want to see something that they may or may not have felt was okay, because I don't want to have that. I don't want to have that thought of them. I don't want to lose anybody as a friend, and that's the quickest way to lose somebody as a friend. Is to look at a knee-jerk reaction and not put a lot of thought into it. So that's why I did that. I want to be able to see those people in person again, and them say, "Hey, how have you been?" And me say, "I'm good. How have you been? How's life? How's your kids? How are things going?" You know, that's what I want to be able to do. I don't want to have to think I don't ever want to see those people again. And that may sound confusing to some of you all, but I genuinely love everybody. I don't know, man. Growing up the way I grew up, and I know this is going to sound, it's not a pity party for me, but growing up the way I grew up, having red hair, being very fair skinned, not being able to get a tan, not being able to wear shorts or tank tops, or kind of being that kind of a style, you know, I took a lot of heat growing up. And would I say bullying? Yes, I got bullied. People said all kinds of stuff to me. Red on the head. You know, I'd rather be dead than red on the head. Red on the head like a pecker on a poodle. You know, or you can imagine the other saying of that. So I grew up in that, and that's fine. You know, I didn't like it, and did I go home and wonder, why are these people saying this about me? But I also knew I was a little different. I didn't fit in like everybody else, and that was fine. You know, my dad was a strong man. He had big shoulders. Taught me to have big shoulders. So I don't know. I kind of felt sorry for people that did me that way because they didn't know me, I guess. But that was fine. I mean, you know, I don't want to not put a little bit of thought into what makes people react the way they do. So that's why I said it's just better sometimes to block people maybe, or delete them off your Facebook page. It's not the end of the world, guys. To delete somebody or block somebody, this is not, believe it or not, social media is not the end all be all. I mean, in your life, you know, we as this thing has progressed and went on, we've figured out that social media is for lack of better words, it's just a lot of people live a fake life on social media, and I don't want to do that. I don't want to be a fake, and I'm not calling any of these people that I maybe deleted or blocked. Sorry, I'm rambling. I'm still pretty tore up about all this with Charlie and that girl and the way people are responding. But you know, it's if somebody comes up to me here after the fact and says, hey man, we're not friends on Facebook anymore, what's up? Why is that? I want to be able to look at them and say, man, I wasn't sure how you felt about this person being shot. I wasn't sure. And I don't have no problem with your friends, people that I don't know. If they want to get on there and put that kind of nonsense on there, that's fine. But I sure would hate for it to be a knee-jerk reaction for somebody that I know to get on there and maybe agree, or maybe say, something that I would construe as maybe not aligning with what I want to be around. Then I can have a conversation with them one-on-one. And if they say, man, I wouldn't feel that way, okay, that's great. That's fine. Then, I can put you back on. And if you're mad at me for it and say, no, don't, because if you thought I felt that way, that's not. Listen, that's not the end of the world. We'll all grow up. And if they don't talk to me ever again, I'm not out anything. I'm out of friendship, and I hate that. But, I don't know, man. I've spent all weekend, too. I've been so angry at so much. I would be lying to all of you if I didn't say that when the politics get heavy around election time, the things that I see, do I let it influence me? Yeah, we all do. But to witness what we witnessed, and I'm not, I hope I don't hurt anybody's feelings when I say this, and I'm not trying to compare. I'm just trying to compare maybe the happenings of. It's just like Martin Luther King Jr. I wasn't around when he got shot. I can only imagine what the black community felt like when they lost a man who was out trying to get better things for his people. And like I said, I hope I don't upset anybody when I say that. If there's any, I've got any black friends that see this or this gets passed around, I am not in any way. Please don't take it like Charlie Kirk was greater than, because nobody's greater than anybody. But that man did what he thought was right for his people, and he got killed for it. We all know that. And I truly don't believe Charlie Kirk was trying to do anything for white people in general. He was trying to get people to talk. And so that's why I say it's like what happened last Wednesday was kind of this generation's, like my daughter and my son, and they just witnessed what the African American community, the black community, what are you going to say? That's what they witnessed in the 60s, and with him being killed, it's their words, man. And he wanted to talk. Charlie Kirk wanted to talk. The man never came to fisticuffs. He never. I don't know, man. It's very, very, very disturbing that our world is where it's at as far as people celebrating an assassination. The day before what was supposed to be a remembrance of 9/11, and I remember, where me and Betsy were at. We had just started dating, and everybody was unified, and that next day, September 12th, this is just the total polar opposite of that. And I saw a post that said, 24 years ago, if the World Trade Center had been hit by planes, I'm afraid there would be people that would be celebrating. And that really resonates with me now after what we saw last Wednesday. If that would have happened instead of Charlie Kirk being assassinated, would people have rejoiced? would there actually have been Americans rejoiced because the World Trade Center got bombed by 2 airplanes? I don't know. And that's really, people need to think about that. I don't know. But as somber as I am right now, let me try to get to where I was at all weekend, with my feelings and these people that are posting on their Facebook pages that all this stuff, or Twitter or Instagram, X, whatever, and they're celebrating. You need to pass that information on. Some of you are probably like, man, Darren, stop posting that stuff. No, I'll not stop posting it. Anytime I see somebody that celebrates the murder of a man that is not in combat, wartime is the only time, and I don't even like that. I don't like war. I wish we never had war. But we're not at combat right now. Charlie Kirk was not in combat. He was trying to be the anti-combat. He wanted to talk. He wanted to walk away and say, they talked to me. That was good. I see their point. That's not combat. That's trying to de-escalate and whatever. People are going to read into what I just said and say, no, it wasn't, whatever. If you see somebody out there that is posting that garbage, share it. This morning, I saw a post, and I believe I shared it on my page. There was somebody that had posted something about pew, 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 the MAGA movement or whatever. Well, the FBI has taken them into custody, and that's not going to stop. They're taking these threats seriously, guys, and why wouldn't they? My gosh, if that would have been somebody else threatening to shoot a president, a senator, a something, you would be in FBI custody. There's no other rebuttal to that. Nobody has anything they can say to me where I'd be like, oh no, you're right. No, if you threaten, or if you think it's okay to threaten people, or if you think it's okay to push that, you should be in FBI custody, or at least the local authorities, and you sure shouldn't be at work. I'm sorry. You sure shouldn't be at work next to other people, because unless you've got the greatest job in the world, you've got stress. And when you go to work and you get stressed out at your job, and somebody that maybe doesn't think the way you do, you're not going to take it out on your boss. Normally, you're going to take it out on your coworker. Well, then what will that lead to? Who knows what these people would do? So that's why I'm sharing what I'm sharing on Facebook, and I think we all should, unapologetically. These people need to learn that there are consequences to what you do. There's always consequences to what you do. They don't have to be killed. They don't have to be anything, but they don't need to be gainfully employed and think that it's okay to spew hatred toward anyone. Period. That's just the way it is. So that being said, from here on, guys, I have a new level of empowerment in myself, because let me take this full circle. When COVID happened, there was such a push for people to get fired that didn't wear a mask or that did not get vaccinated, that people lost their jobs. I talked to a man who put my cable in at my house years back, right after. He got let go from the military because he would not take the vaccination. He loved the military. The man loved his job. He said, I think he'd been in for like 4 or 5 or 6 years or 8 or something. I can't remember. It's been that long ago. And he said, they told me I had to go. So they discharged him and let him go. He said, I would have re-upped. I would have retired from the military. But because he didn't want to take a vaccination that nobody was sure of, he got let go. I've got a very close friend, I won't say his name, that is in the medical field, that is very successful in the medical field. And I talked to him, and he said that he dare not mention anything about the vaccine or Donald Trump or anything in the hospital, because they were just like waiting to be able to fire people because of it. And I tell you guys that to say this: that is done. That's over. We're going to flip the script now. That is not a battle call. That's not a threat. That's nothing of that sort. There's no bodily harm in that statement of what I just said. I don't want anybody to die. I don't want anybody to do anything stupid. But we are done sitting back and listening and being talked down to, because MSNBC, CNN, NBC, all these stations that are run by left-wing propaganda, and even Fox, that bought into this garbage and allowed it to go on and didn't quell it, it's done. We're all awake now. We know what's going on. And we kept our mouths shut. And we just sat back. We just thought, it's not even worth it. Just let it be. All while we were sitting there stewing over, I can't believe that you can't even say what you want to say, or feel what you want to feel, or live your own life, or whatever you want to do without fear of persecution. You just witnessed the greatest persecution that you'll probably ever see. Charlie Kirk was killed because of what he said. Actually, no, it wasn't because of what he said. It was because people started listening. So, I woke up Friday and Saturday with a whole new attitude about life and going forward. And maybe it is because I just turned 50. But I'm going to say this, and I'm going to say this very loudly and clear to everyone listening to this channel or seeing it. We will not be pushed around anymore. After what happened Wednesday, and after the results of what happened, and the way people are acting and celebrating murder, you'll not do that around me. You do that around me, we will have words. And if you think you want to come to fisticuffs, I don't want to. I'm not a fighter. I've been in one fight in my whole life. I am not that person. I want to be happy. I want to be good. But I'm done. I'm done. This whole anti-Christian sentiment and all that, don't come at me with that. I was born and raised, and then I was saved when I was young, and I have not been perfect, nor will I ever be perfect. I have not lived the exact life. And there'll be people that'll say, I know Darren did this. I don't care what you know I did. I have never, ever, ever tried to hurt someone intentionally. Ever. Now, did I hurt myself with all the things I did growing up and my partying and my doing? Yes, I did. But that's my business. And let me tell you something. My relationship is between me and the good Lord above and Jesus Christ. I have never, ever, ever pushed my thought process on anyone. I want you to believe what you believe, and I want you to have a good life. But I will not. I absolutely 100% will not be told that I am wrong about what I believe and what I believe to be biblically true. It is not going to happen. I will not be silent anymore. None of us will be silent anymore. And if you are silent and you will let somebody push you around, you need to get into your Bible, or you need to get into church, and you need to get some confidence about you. That's the bottom line. We were not born to be pushed around. Nobody was. And I'm talking about people who are not believers, Jewish people, Muslim people, anything. You're not to be pushed around. when people start leaning on you because of your faith and the things that you believe in, and they're trying to push you away from something, you can say, I don't believe that way. But if they keep pushing, you have every right to push back. And if that's verbally, I hope it is. But if somebody wants to come at you and attack you for your beliefs and throw something at you, or try to literally push you into a fight, you defend yourself. And I would advise everybody in this country to arm yourself to the teeth. Do you know what is sad? I'm going to say this, and this may blow some of your minds, it may not. I've had my carry permit for, I couldn't tell you how many years. Me, my wife, my sister, and my brother-in-law, we went and got our carry permits just because we wanted them. We thought, hey, that's cool, we can do it. It was a buy one, get one free as far as like your class. They were trying to get women to come and protect themselves, and Betsy could bring me, my sister could bring her husband, and it was free. Hey, Bass Pro Shop, that's where we got it done. You know, the only time I've ever carried my gun, this is the truth. The only time I ever thought I needed to carry my gun was, I do security at my church once a month, and I just kind of stand out over where the kids are at. That's it. That's it. Why? Because I love those kids. I wouldn't want anybody to come do anything like that. I've never felt like I needed to carry it outside. I just haven't. I normally know where I go. I'm pretty regimented as far as what I do. I just, whatever. But now I'm having to rethink that. I was just at the dump, and there was a guy at the dump. He got out of his truck, walked around his truck, leaned over, put trash in, pistol on his back. That's the first time that I've ever been to the dump and saw somebody carrying a pistol openly. And good for him. Didn't hurt nobody. He didn't pull it out. He wasn't waving it around. He didn't even say anything. Guys, this world we live in is being run by demonic possession. You can like that. You can laugh at that. That's fine. I don't care. I'll laugh at people that, who knows what I'll laugh at before it's all said and done. I'm sure I'll be, people do crazy things. I'm like, I can't believe you do that. That's fine. Laugh at me for what I just said. Laugh at me for my thought process. But it's my thought process. I don't care. It's cool. You're not going to hurt my feelings. Trust me. Believe you me. The only people that will hurt my feelings are my sister, my kids, or my wife. Nobody else in this world will hurt my feelings. And that's not to say that I don't care about everybody in this world, because I do. But if you come at me with some kind of an attack over the way I think or what I say, you're barking up the wrong tree and you're wasting your breath. Best thing you can do is move on and go find somebody who's weaker, because I will not stand for it. And if it becomes a debate, great. I'll love it. I'll talk to you all day long. I don't care. You all know already where we at. We're 33 minutes here. I've been driving down Chapman Highway coming to pick my mower up. I can talk for another hour and a half if you want to talk, and I especially would love to talk to you one-on-one. But you're not going to hurt my feelings. I had my feelings hurt well enough growing up. Well enough. I got bullied enough. Not going to hurt my feelings. I promise you. I don't care what any of you think. I want you to care about what you think. And I want us to all, everybody in this world, be of one accord and love on each other. We can have differences, but just know that from here going forward, whatever I post or put out, hopefully it'll all be good. Hopefully I'll settle down a little bit in my anger and my confusion about what's going on in this world. I can maybe come to terms with it, but right now I am having problems with that, because it's just not, this is not what any of us signed up for. And for those of you out there spreading hate and talking about Christians like they're the problem, God help you. God help your soul. And I pray for the world. I pray for everybody. I mean, there's going to be people out there that go, I don't want you praying for me. Okay, fine. That's fine. Once I send out my prayer, every time I'm at church or every time I'm just in my truck alone and something confuses me or I can't make sense of something or I hear bad news about somebody. You know, somebody asked me one time, you know, how do you pray? I didn't really know how to pray. I still feel like I don't know how to pray but you know what come over me? It was pray for God's will. Just pray for His will to be done, no matter what it is. As tragic as what just happened, there's a reason for it. I believe that. There's a reason for it. I wish Charlie Kirk was with his family today. His wife wishes he was here today. His kids are going to wish he was there years from now. But there's a reason this happened, guys. And Charlie Kirk's death has galvanized a country. Because those of you who sit and think that he was a racist or prejudiced, you may be in this country, but you're not this country. I promise you. So, say what you want to say, do what you want to do. I'll pray for you. But if you come at me with some kind of sideways with something about my faith, religion, or Charlie Kirk, or anybody that believes, and anybody that believes that was wrong, and that man was flat straight murdered, if you don't think that was wrong, you don't need to talk to me. I'll debate with anybody about anything, but if you want to look at me and say that they did the right thing by killing him, you are wrong. But I will say this, like I said just a minute ago, it happened for a reason. There are going to be people out there that think that reason was for the better, but they'll be mistaken. The reason is all part of a grander plan that galvanized Christians and the way that we think about our policies and everything in the United States. We are not going to sit back and watch and be pushed around and bullied anymore. The script has flipped. So I would be very careful, and all of you listening to me, you need to look at people and you need to really evaluate. And what I've been saying on Facebook about housekeeping, these businesses and these big corporations and your friend list and the things that are popping up on your page, you need to do some housekeeping and pay close attention, because knee-jerk reaction is not what you need to do. Do the housekeeping, do the preventative maintenance first, and then let everything else fill itself out. I may have rambled just a minute ago. Right then, I'm sorry. But I am, I'm caught in the middle. I'm trying not to let my anger override my brain. And, but anyway, guys, the most awful day in my history, I mean, there's been some people get killed. I remember living through the astronauts that got killed. That was awful, but I was a child. I understood it, but I didn't know the magnitude of it. And that was just an accident, or whatever. This is something completely different. I want you to know, to the guy who shot Charlie Kirk and killed him, who planned his murder out, you just woke up a lion. You just created, you absolutely just formed an army of people that for the next 3 years will never, ever back down. And if you think for 1 second that there's going to be somebody in power again that will kowtow to the left, to the lies, to the BS, you will be dead wrong. You will be dead wrong. Leadership now is going to come in the form of firm stance and consequences, and you can bet on it. Guys, I'm going to get off here now. I'm sorry. This is probably the fact that I can laugh right now after going on some little stupid tirade. That's why I didn't do anything last week, because I was so confused and tore up and angry, man. I was just angry. I could not believe what I was seeing or hearing. But I'm going to get off here. By the way, Georgia, Tennessee, absolute battle, fight. Didn't come out the way we want, but I will take that all day long. That's how you fight. Did we make mistakes? Yes, we did. Did we have them beat? Yes, we did. Part of it, man. I'll take it. We'll build. We'll see what happens at the end of the year. That's what we need to look forward to. It's how this thing's going to turn out. And guys, I love you. I mean it. Please don't misconstrue anything I just said. Go back and watch this time and time again. And don't let anybody twist my words. Just know that as Americans, we have the right to defend ourselves. We have the right to stand for what we believe. And do not let anybody talk you down. Do not let anybody bully you because of what you believe. Best thing to do is walk away. But if they want to debate, talk to them. Be nice. Talk to them. They want to get physical, cover your backside. We are Charlie Kirk. I am Charlie Kirk. All day, every day. That's not hate. That's just common sense. I can love everyone, guys. I can love everyone. As long as you're willing to reciprocate that, that's fine. I have no problem with that. I gotta go. Getting ready to pull in here and get the mower. I love y'all. God bless you. God bless the United States of America. God bless Erica Kirk, and God bless those children. This is the turning point.